kitchen, and today I'll be showing you a great recipe of mango and chipotle salsa that we are going to use for do some chicken wings. So I hope you enjoy this recipe, and let's get started. Okay, so the first step that I'm going to do, and it's very important, I have here my chicken wings, and we are going to go ahead and wash them. It's very important always to rinse our chicken wings. And the next step that we are going to do is we're going to cook them, because that way we don't have to worry about if they turn out raw in the inside. So I really like them to give them a boil first and then put it in the pan to finish them. So let's do that. Always with cold water. So we have our wings over here. We're going to give them a quick boil. And another important thing when using chicken, always if you use the cutting board or the sink, always rinse it or wash it very well, because that can turn into a crossing contamination that we don't want. So always with the raw poultry, please be very careful in washing everything well after using it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the stove on medium heat. Okay, I'm going to add some salt. This is like a teaspoon of, and I'm using the pink Himalayan salt, but you can use the salt of your preference. And then we can cover them and wait a few minutes until we have them on boiling point. So what I'm going to do next here, I'm going to start prepping our mango chipotle salsa. So I'm going to need 2 oranges, the juice of 2 oranges that we are squeezing right now. You can always use from the package, but I think fresh ingredients always make the difference when we want to impress our guests and make great recipes. So one more, we are looking for a cup of orange juice. Alright, now we are going to need 1/3 of the red onion, and we are going to chop them it really doesn't matter the chopping skills right now, because at the end we are going to blend everything together. I actually created this recipe for the side of our fish tacos, and how I do it or did it was mincing everything very fine, and so it has like the chunky consistency. The point here is, if you want that chunky consistency, yes, you have to be careful, or not careful, but just you can work on how well you want the chopping to be. Okay. What I like about the red onions is that it really makes the difference when cooking, and it gives like a different flavor in our recipes than the regular white onions. So now I'm going to start this pan here to make the salsa, and I'm going to add some avocado oil because this is the oil that has more heat resistance. So I'm adding here, it was like about a tablespoon of our avocado oil. If you don't have avocado oil, you can also always use olive oil, but I highly encourage you to use high heat oils whenever you are cooking something. So I'm going to wait a little bit on that, and then I can find fresh mangoes for some reason. So I got the frozen ones, and I usually use a whole mango for the recipe. Yeah, like 2 cups of the frozen mango will be good. And again, because at the end we're going to blend this together, the mangoes don't need to be chopped further than this, so this will be good for our recipe. So let's get the salsa starting. We're going to have some saute going over here. Our wings over here are for about to start boiling, and I always like to add some salt to my onions or garlic or shallots when starting a recipe, because that way the flavors of the onion comes out, and it's a totally technique that might change the flavor and recipe completely. This smells really good. And it's kind of strong, so it's going to make me cry a little, but it's okay. Alright, so next thing, we're going to need some chipotle. We are using 1 tablespoon of chipotle, and we are using also chili powder. But Mayela, how do we know whenever we are ready to add the next ingredients? In this case of the red onion, whenever our onions change color, it's ready that we can add the next ingredient to our, in this case, to our salsa. So I'm going to go ahead and add our frozen mangoes in this case, but again, I always encourage to get fresh ingredients as possible. I don't know if you know, but a chipotle, it's a smoked jalapeno. Smoked and dried jalapeno. So I think it's very interesting, and I'll be working with chiles dry and fresh, because really in the Mexican, that's what makes the Mexican kitchen enormous and magnificent, and that you can always play with the ingredients because there's so many choices, so many ideas, so many ways that you can work with them, and you can add as much and as little as you want depending on the heat that you like or that you can take. But I always like trying new recipes with the chiles because it really enhances the flavor of our food. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add our cup of orange juice. In this case, I use 3 fresh oranges. I'm going to add a tablespoon of our chili powder. And I'm going to add a whole chipotle pepper, or if you have the blend, the chipotle sauce, I'll add a tablespoon of the blended one. We are going to bring the salsa into the boil. You can do 2 things. If you're planning to making a soup, you can always save this broth. This is good for doing soups or salsas or chicken soup, or just doing ice cubes with broth to enhance the flavors of your recipes. You can do it by you can place a bowl under your drain and then carefully and now we are going to drop the wings on a little plate with some napkin, because we want our chicken wings to be dry before putting it back in the pan. We are going to let our salsa cool down before blending. That way the blender won't explode on us. And also we are putting our pan with some avocado oil. Or we can do this 2 ways. We can put our pan to fry our chicken wings, or we can turn our oven in broiling point for our wings to get that crispy consistency. We are going to place our chicken wings on a tray. If you have like silpat, we can use it underneath or just with the oil, and we are going to get a crispy and yummy consistency for our wings. We are going to add some avocado olive oil. Again, because this is the oil that can resist high temperatures, and that way it won't affect your system with the oxidation that heat with the oils brings when we intake them. So always my recipes are going to be ideas or inspiration for you to bring some motivation for start cooking or doing new recipes at your house. You can always share these recipes with your friends and family, and for me that's what's all about. Sharing the food, making it with love, and of course lose that nervousness of doing different things in the kitchen. So with that said, I'm going to finish this salsa, and what I mean to say also is that feel free to do some modifications with, in this case, the chiles. If you don't like spicy, you can just put a pinch of the spice and just try it out, see how much can you handle or how much do you like the recipe to be in the spiciness level. I'm going to give this a blend. Again, it's always good and nice to let it cool down for a little bit so it won't explode. There we go. We're going to pour the salsa in a bowl so we can toss our wings. Always try your salsa, and I recommend playing with the salt at the end. Try it. If you think it needs more, you can add more. But it's always good to have it on season and then adding season little by little, then over seasoning. If you see, I didn't use the whole juice of the salsa, so you can always play with the consistency. This is how it looks like. Let me do this for you so you can see. And then if you think it needs more, you can add more. And depending on the use that you're going to give the salsa for. Let's take a look of our wings. Looks delicious. Smells delicious. And they're getting crispy. Woo! Okay, our wings are ready, and I'm going to show you how they look like. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and toss our wings in our mango chipotle sauce. Now we can plate our wings. You can add a side of the salad. I did some sweet potato fries. And my mouth is watering right now because this smells and looks so good. It's a different recipe that you can try. And always please feel free to tell me what other recipes do you like to see. And if you like this recipe, please comment, share. And voila! There you go, homemade, oven-made and delicious chicken wings that you can try next time, and they're absolutely better and healthier than the ones that we get at the store. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. It's a pleasure for me to bring new ideas to your kitchen, and I hope you like your recipe. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you for being here, and see you next time.